say.
Hello, and welcome to the World War. And I just realized we're all jumbled up in the screens. How did this happen? Well, we'll get to that. Anyway, welcome to World at War. Direbear's Tuesday Night Scion 2nd Edition Chronicle.
Okay,
Despite my placement in the windows, I am your story guide for the evening. Jason?
Okay.
half of us are correct. Half of us.
I'm at the right spot. Woo!
Who
Yeah,
am
those
I?
are
I need
correct.
to know.
Your story guide.
You're the story
I'm
guide.
the story guide. Y'all are screwed.
I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Well,
weird,
sorry
though.
for
We're
short session
appearing in
tonight,
the
folks,
same
but have a
order.
good one.
What you get
And
from
one little tweak
resizing.
in. No, that's not right, because now Josh is Eric.
I'm Tuba now. Wee.
Yet
I'm the story
guide again.
Don't worry, everyone. We're professionals.
Sometimes.
This is a weekly occurrence that we do every time.
Just for your guys'
Song and dance.
entertainment.
If this doesn't happen, like at least once during the show,
Okay, for just a second there, I thought I had everybody.
Almost.
I messed it up, storyteller. Kicking me out of the.
Now I just gotta mute you in the Discord and we'll be all ready.
Oh God.
Alright, I think hopefully that was our technical issue for the evening. Which was a lot lighter than last week.
there's less cussing.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Well, somebody
He
approves.
wouldn't.
We just got a somebody just followed us.
Hey.
I'll be right back.
It was host 00 something else, and I didn't get it read before the numbers faded.
Yeah.
00312.
Oh, there it is.
If you're not a bot, you'll say something.
Yeah, maybe a bot. Who knows?
Oh, it's hard.
Seems like a really obvious bot name, though. Alright, so who remembers what we did last week?
Shenaniganry.
I wasn't here, so.
We almost got, or Telarius almost got seduced by a siren.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I heard Robert almost did as well.
And then
Shame on you.
Sasha literally put the fear of God into them.
Yeah, she still has to apologize for that.
I mean, at the same time, poor Sasha got screwed over in the respect of one man decided to say they didn't help us and they were right there.
Well, was he lying?
No, but still.
But to put this into a more easy to follow,
Palatable.
started off in China. The band using one of Sasha's, well, not really one of her abilities, but an ability she can kind of borrow.
At great personal cost.
They essentially teleported back to Olympus, hoping that whoever has been keeping tabs on them wouldn't realize they were back.
Yeah. Not yet, anyway.
They arrived in the evening. Later that night, they went out on patrol along the waterfront, breaking into two groups because people had been disappearing on the waterfront while they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Connor and Robert found an abandoned car. It looked like somebody had been changing a tire and like just got up and walked off halfway through. So Robert decided to act as bait, started changing the tire. A woman came up and started talking to him. Connor kind of realized something was weird about her. She starts putting the moves on Robert, but when she goes to bite him, Connor intercedes. And the woman had like a lamprey mouth.
Connor goes, "Be gone, thought."
So she wound up a captive. They knocked her out, and she looked a lot less human after that. Meanwhile, Sasha and Telarius were investigating around a plant, watching some of the workers come and go, and then they saw some walking. It looked like they were walking out towards the beach, and I think you heard a little bit of singing coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard and followed the herd.
Well, not the beach, the shore. But and when you got there were two women singing. There was a couple of guys already sitting down. A couple more walked up. Telarius could not resist the urge to walk up there. So they couldn't quite get him to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha also felt a little compelled to get up there, but I think she was maintaining herself a little better, I think.
Where
She's
was,
properly freaked out.
and where was Jaden in all this?
You tell us.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Storyteller. What did you send Jaden to?
I don't know. Guarding the animals, I guess.
Wow.
No, that was Connor. Or a clone of Connor.
Well, y'all were going in groups of 2, so it was a clone of Connor and her.
Okay, fair.
Work with me here, man.
You don't want me to do that.
But yeah, Sasha eventually did put the fear of God, so to speak, into Talarius, causing him to run off.
Mhm.
A couple of more women came up out of the water, at which point Sasha decided she should probably withdraw too. So they ran off, called Connor and Robert, met up with them. One of them called Penelope of the Varangian band. Let her know what was going on. They, as it turns out, were
Conveniently,
staking out the third, if you look here on the map, the one in the middle, the third site of disappearances.
Mhm.
But they had been staking the place out as a full group rather than breaking themselves up. So they race over to the plant, and by the time the band is running back by there, there's already police there and the media, of course. And they see where there was one survivor who clearly remembers that some of your band was there.
no, they only recognize Sasha because
How does that
Talarius
only
was
recognize-
Norm L guy.
That was still some of the band.
Yeah,
One in the
but
back.
only
She was
one of
there,
the
and
band.
she just left. She just left us. By the time you
Yeah,
get back
she-
to the
she's got enough guilt.
By the time you get back to the safe house,
They were back en route to the safe house, and they got
oh yeah, they got
Word
the
of the
text
video.
from Violetta Sandquist.
Connor is back in the safe house.
with the siren, I think, or the lamprey.
The lamprey.
But yeah, you got a message from her going, "This is bad," and links to some of the other news channels in town, where you saw the full video of the guy making his statement as they were putting a blanket around him and leading him off to the ambulance.
How interesting. They should leave somebody behind.
Are we
Yeah.
all back at the safe house now?
They had like 4 full-grown men. How hungry can you be?
There's
Well, there
four
was
full-grown
was
women.
4 of them.
Some of these guys were kind of big, though. The women were average size.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to assume we're back at the safe house?
Yes, you
Since
can get
that's
back to
where
the
we're
safe-
heading.
You can get back to the safe house, no problem.
Yep.
Connor's little dragon is still in a bit of a huff. Especially after he showed up with a monster. 'Cause she
Yeah.
was promised she'd be called into the fight. Clearly there was a fight and she was not called in.
Wasn't a fight they were prepared for. They were prepared to have, I should say.
Cyrus sits around as everyone shows up, and they go, "I'm gonna take a nap," and then just goes up to wherever the dragon is, storming upstairs. Take my chances with the dragon.
Did you see
I
the people?
pointing at the lamprey that Connor probably has.
Oh, he has the lamprey chained to a pillar.
And she's still basically humanoid shaped.
Mm-hmm.
But like I described her last week, she's now got, slightly elongated fingers, a claw, they're webbed.
Dolphiny, smooth skin.
Yeah, dolphiny or eel, either of those. The hair is still blonde, but there's a slight green tinge to it, like you'd bleached your hair blonde and then went swimming a little too soon. The chlorine had a reaction.
Does it talk?
Well, it's unconscious right now.
No, she's asking Connor and Robert.
Oh yeah, it was talking. Doing a very good job of seducing Robert, as I recall. You know, before she turned into this.
I resisted, thank you.
Because I hit you in the head with a rock.
At least that was a gentle reminder to not say yes.
Right. Y'all keep an eye on her. I've got a dragon to talk to.
Like I said, the dragon has picked a bedroom and went in there and slammed the door.
Playing emo music really loud.
She's just a baby. She hasn't figured out radios yet.
No one understands my pain.
Norwegian death metal.
God.
She's a European dragon.
See, it makes perfect sense.
Connor would just open the door.
That's fair. She hasn't really figured out locks yet either.
Probably pick the lock even if she did.
Break the door.
She's curled up in one corner like she's asleep.
I know you're awake.
Mm-mm.
That proved it. He'll just go and like sit down next to her. You know you weren't left out intentionally, right?
Mm-mm.
We weren't prepared for a fight to happen.
Should have taken me with you. Her eyes are still closed.
At this point, yeah, we probably should have. You were right there. You probably could have eaten one of the sirens.
Her head kind of perks up at that point.
But I did get something for you. It was from Dad's place. And he'll pull out the very shiny rock that he got from the monkey, because shiny things.
Ooh. And when she lifts herself up, you see that kind of, up under her in the little bed she's made. There's like a hand mirror. There's a salt shaker that's got a particularly shiny little top to it. It's like maybe, and Faux Connor would remember her wandering around the house a little bit
Yeah.
while y'all were gone, so she may have been wandering around gathering things.
Just grabs it with her mouth and goes,
This is mine now? This is mine?
Ooh, shiny.
I'm gonna need that salt shaker back, though.
Mine, found it. Finders keepers.
He'll sit down to start scritching on her head, like near the ridges.
You get a big dragon head in your lap. Thump.
Technically, it's mine because I own the place, although I'll gladly let you have the mirror.
I can just see it now. You come in, she got the mirror in her tail, she's trying her hat in different positions.
Well, from the looks of things, there's going to be a fight sooner rather than later.
Oh, we've got another follow from 13, unnamed 13.
Hey!
Welcome and thank you.
I am kind of stuck of... Do you want to meet the idiots that we have to share the city with or not?
She's squints an eye at you like she's trying to figure out what idiot means.
Well, they're a group of people like me and my friends, but I'm leaning towards the fact that they're probably working on trying to drive us out of the city or maybe kill us at some point.
Kill them first.
You see, that's the plan. Eventually. But I mean, you've been in Dad's home. You know how Dad and his people work. I kind of operate the same. It's no fun killing them first if you can't destroy them beforehand. That's something you'll learn in time, the older you get. Eventually, you'll start getting challenged for your things or for the territory that you consider your own.
So I should fight.
I learned a long time ago that cultivating a reputation so people will never want to challenge you is just as effective.
She nods her head.
But that'll be something we can figure out eventually. I know you being a dragon, you are sort of. You're kind of inclined to a hoarding instinct and to rule.
She just kind of
But
shrugs.
you'll get there eventually. I mean, you already kind of are if you notice all the shiny things that you've collected.
I like shiny things.
And that right there is the hoarding instinct, dear.
Mm.
But sooner rather than later, you're probably going to end up in a fight with us.
Good. She takes her little wing hands and tries to crack her knuckles, but dragon knuckles don't work well like that.
That's adorable, and I love it.
It's you. I got it from watching you.
Well, if the rest of our ideas don't work, do you feel like intimidating the thing we brought?
I'll help. What's intimidate?
Hmm?
What's intimidate?
Intimidate. It's means to scare.
Oh, yes.
I do it so that people who are in my way or hostile to me, my enemy, effectively, lose the will to fight and move out of my way, effectively. That isn't to say you should intimidate people all the time.
But it's fun.
Something we'll have to talk about. It might be fun, but there is a difference between using it to protect what's yours and using it to steal what is someone else's. Do you understand the difference? Well,
But I want shiny
say,
things.
well, yes, say there's another creature that comes in and they come in here, try to take the shiny rock in the mirror.
Like spruce?
I doubt Spruce would do that, but let's call it a hypothetical.
Not supposed to eat spruce. So I scare spruce.
Right. That is protecting what is yours. Now, say you see somebody else with shiny things. That is when you don't do that.
Spruce don't need shiny things.
Yes, but other people do. Other creatures, other humans. That's part of that reputation I was talking about. If you intimidate other people, try to take something that is theirs away from them, they would feel the same way to that as you would if someone tried to take something that's yours.
Mm.
Which means they'd come after you for it, try to hurt you for it. Protecting what's yours is fine.
So only take shiny things from people I'm stronger than. Okay.
No. Don't take shiny things, period.
Borrow shiny things?
No. Bargain for shiny things is acceptable. As in, say, for instance, someone needs some ashes for something. You could use your, once you get old enough, you could use your fire to burn some wood that they need turned into ash, and then accept payment in forms of shiny things for that.
Or I could scare them and they might drop their shiny things and run away. Then the shiny
Yes,
things are just on the ground.
they are. However, they won't give you shiny things again.
I just have to scare them again.
If
And it's
you
hard to tell in a dragon's face, but you think she's starting to smile now. You think she's starting to just mess with you.
Oh, and he's playing along with it. He loves it. Yes, but they won't be carrying shiny things again when you meet them.
Yeah, I guess that's no good.
So,
Let's go scare a lady.
well, I believe the rest of the band had a plan. But yes, let's go scare a lady.
Meanwhile, out in the living room, the lady to be scared in question is starting to kind of stir a little bit.
Did Talarius go immediately upstairs?
No, they're just kind of like catching their breath at the stairwell.
Talarius, I have an idea, and I want you to tell me if this is very stupid or might actually work.
Could be both. Continue.
It could honestly be both the way my day is going. We all agree that we think the other band has something to do with this, correct?
I'm sorry,
Pretty-
I just love the deadpan. That was great.
You're welcome. Yes, it's a possibility. It's pretty likely.
So, if the siren, lamprey, giant sentient tuna fish, whatever she is, sees someone of the other band, she may show some recognition, may answer some questions we have.
Well, she's stirring, so if you're gonna do that, you know.
Steps kind of behind somewhere, and she's like, that's close enough to what she might wear, and makes herself look like Penelope.
Okay. And you can do specific people. I haven't looked at the ability.
At least close enough to. 1 second.
Yeah, the thing it specifically says you can't be an exact copy,
She has different colored eyes.
but
1 second. I'm sheep's clothing.
Put on
Cannot
sunglasses.
assume the exact appearance of someone else.
yeah.
Okay.
So one eye is a shade darker.
Well, like maybe the hair is slightly different, something like that, but it's pretty convincing.
The way I would take it would be, you're not going to fool Penelope's mama.
Yeah, no, she's not
Or
going to
anybody that, or even her band,
Penelope's band.
Yeah, not her band members, not anybody that knows her really well.
Yeah,
So,
The
a casual
barista,
acquaintance might be like
at her
a
favorite
sister?
coffee shop, maybe,
yeah.
and at a distance, perhaps.
Mhm.
Some of those other folks.
Okay, so she looks like Penelope right now.
Hang on. your hair, just like
Oh, and leans down.
they'll like do a couple of twisties here and there to go the rest of the way, at least for the hair. It's still like the facial thing, but like making sure the hair aligns with what I remember Penelope looking like.
If possible, I know you typically do this a lot to begin with, but let's get all of this on tape in case we need to bury them with it. If this bears any weight or any fruit or anything like that.
Honey, you're still saying the quiet part loud.
Hmm?
You're still saying the quiet part loud. If you want, I will do this. They just pat you on the head.
Connor from the room perking up was like, "What? We're burying the other band? I've got plenty of info."
You're on.
Let's go talk to a
I'll-
fish.
Robert and Jaden, while you're still sitting in the living room, you know, she's obviously awake now. But she's, you know, keeping her head down, but you can kind of see her eyes are open up under her hair.
She's awake.
When you say that, she kind of lowers her head and shakes her head, and when she looks up, she looks human again.
You don't need to hide what you are.
Well, this is what I am.
Mm-hmm.
So is that, but
Sure.
Sasha and Nelope will just kind of round the corner and doesn't say anything, just kind of stands there to see if there's any recognition.
nothing particularly. You know, she seems the lady seems the siren we'll call her seems to be sizing you all up. You know, there's some recognition in her face when she sees Robert and Connor.
Connor's not there yet.
Oh, I thought he'd stepped in. I'm sorry.
Jaden.
think when she
He
sees
will
Robert.
be. He will be soon, but I think he's still like at the end of the conversation with Shauna at this point.
Well, I'm not dead yet, so you must want something.
Information would be a good start.
What would you like to know? And will my giving you this information allow me to live?
Having been fooled with this once, Sasha's making no promises.
She made promises last time, but just didn't keep them.
I mean, this is fair, but she has guilt now.
Hilarious from behind is just activating nothing but the truth.
That'll depend on many different things. Why are you killing people on the waterfront?
It's actually a good question. Why do sirens kill people?
Don't get philosophical.
Can't tell if that's Jason or the siren.
Maybe it's both. We're predators. We have to hunt.
So do wolves, but they don't hunt people in the city.
But the city's where people are.
And you have to eat people. Just as easily eat cows,
Occasionally.
they're easier to hunt down.
There's also very large fish in the lake. And we do eat a lot of those, but we were created to, well, specifically to hunt sailors, but there's not as many sailors in the lake, but you know, dock workers and such will do.
Are you doing it at the behest of somebody? Or just for your own fun and amusement?
I wouldn't say we're amused by it. And our benefactor didn't specifically tell us to hunt people, though she knew our nature.
Your benefactor.
Yes.
Does your benefactor have a name?
Not that I would give you without real assurances of my survival.
Imbue her one single legend she has on Seckham's Blaze. I don't have to give you assurances for anything. You'll give me her name, whether you live or die.
All right. What does that ability do? Is that the fear gods thing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Presence in legend versus resolve in legend.
All right.
I think he's just looking for the wording of the ability.
Well, that I need to pull up her stats for.
I'll find it in the book. 1 second.
No, I mean for the siren.
Yeah, no, the Seckham's Blaze. The example it gives in the book is kind of different than the skill wording, which annoys me. Because in the book it gives the example of the person using it said, "Let him go," and the guy was like, "Sure, what? Whatever you say, bro."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I also want it to be known that Telarius is recording from the back view, so it looks vaguely like Penelope.
From the back view, honestly, I think Penelope also has black hair, so it kind of could look like either one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, if it works.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, very nice. Okay. And you have to roll your legend and whatever?
Yep, give me 1 second.
All right.
Presence and legend. I'm just gonna roll athletics for legend. Well, no, wait. I get to roll 3 still. I just can only use. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, you still roll you roll your full score.
Yeah.
+1 for general enhancement.
So that gets you up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
She cowers away from you a little bit, but she still doesn't answer. I just want to live.
So do those people back there at the factory.
So does the deer that falls to the wolves. So did the cow from the last hamburger you had. Predators eat prey. I can't help what I am. But I can go do it somewhere else.
May I walk in at this point?
Yes.
Okay. Connor walks in with Dragon. Did I hear something about eating prey?
Points at fish.
How many beasties do you have running around? She looks over the other two.
Connor's just gonna walk over, kneel down in front of her. Well, we meet again.
Oh, you.
Yeah. You been telling my friends anything interesting?
Don't know. I've been
Little
telling
bit.
them things, how interesting they find it.
Yeah.
Well, has she? He'll look back at the rest of the band.
Sasha's sitting there going Dragon Ball Z.
Sasha's eyes are still glowing. The hair's not up, but she's mentally her hair is up.
Yeah.
Yada yada, working on under the auspices of a benefactor, yada yada yada.
Ah.
Won't give us her name, yada yada.
Oh, specifically a her.
Yes.
There's a good chance of her killing me. Though I'll take that chance if you assure me that you're not going to kill me. Work with me here. I will leave here. I will even try my best to convince my sisters to leave with me.
That sounds amicable, actually.
An interesting prospect.
How convincing and how much weight do you pull with your sisters to try and have them leave? Or are we just going to be hunting you down again later?
Not me personally. I'll leave regardless. But
And your sisters?
head back down to the Gulf or something. I don't know.
Probably much better than a lake in the middle of Nebraska.
And there's been surprisingly good hunting here. Though I'm concerned about the winters.
Hmm.
That's where you should be.
Well, let's see. So what have you told them?
Pretty much what we just told you.
Okay.
For what it's worth, you tell me who's your benefactor by name, if you have that information, and you're not just totally bullshitting me. And you can swear that I will not see your face again. I have no problem letting you go.
Any face you happen to be wearing.
Mm-hmm. You'll all swear to this?
You leave Nebraska for good.
And do your damnedest to convince your sisters.
You don't have to worry about me. You leave us alone, I'll leave you alone.
Was it everybody?
And you give no indication of this information being passed along to your benefactor.
Yes, I can agree to that. I'll have to tell my sisters, of course, because I'm trying to convince them.
And get the
Yeah.
same.
Here's a convincing you tell your sisters. Either they leave with you and out of Nebraska, or I put an hour between their eyes.
And I let Shauna eat them.
And their soul never sees the afterlife.
Wait, you're... She looks confused. Like, you dislike me because I'm a predator, but you're keeping that, and she points at Shauna.
That's a baby.
We're all predators of some type.
That's going to eat a lot more people than me, I assure you.
Calling her a that isn't helping your argument very much.
Her, my apologies. I can't tell at sight.
Your benefactor's name.
Cassandra.
Like the Oracle.
Like the Oracle.
Can't
She,
lie
in
to you.
fact, claims to be an Oracle. And the information she gave us seemed to be pretty accurate.
Did she predict this?
Well, no, she just told us that there would be good hunting in the lake.
Oh, so it's just big
And
bullshit.
that
could be
that
anything.
one of the Scions, one of the Scion bands would be out of town.
Where is Cassandra?
She contacted us by phone.
Contacted you by phone or one of your sisters?
I answered the phone one time, and one of my sisters answered it another time.
Is it the same number every time?
I don't remember.
Do you happen to have your phone on you?
No, we usually stash those. We don't carry them when we go out hunting. I mean, you can get phones that are water resistant, but it's iffy.
If you heard this woman's voice again, would you recognize it?
Yes, certainly.
Looks over at Hilarious. Could you find a video of, and kind of gestures to her disguise?
Sure.
Just seeing if maybe the voice.
All right. And they'll see if they have anything. Oh, there is absolutely recordings of Penelope.
Yeah, they've been on the
just like-
news.
yeah. So
Oh
just
yeah, yeah,
good
yeah.
of, like an interview with
Recordings of
Penelope.
Penelope are not hard to find. She's been interviewed and all kinds of stuff.
So, yeah. So I'll just play that back, like an interview with her.
No, that was not her.
That's what I had to know.
What about the other one?
The other
Dixie.
The other one,
Yeah,
All
Dixie.
right. just like,
Covering all angles here.
I don't know, just find a thing of like the piss and vinegar from Dixie.
Well, the other band's been interviewed, so you've got at least a little bit
Sure,
of it from
yeah, yeah,
everybody.
Yeah.
No, she did not sound Southern.
Okay.
What did she sound like?
Greek.
East Coast, maybe?
New York.
Not strong New York, certainly not Boston.
Ugh.
But, she didn't sound Southern. She didn't sound borderline Canadian like some of you folks around here. And this woman is speaking with a slight Southern accent herself. And she did reference the Gulf earlier.
Did this Cassandra mention having effectively been watching our movements?
Not really. I mean, she seemed to know you'd be out of town.
The centaurs mentioned an oracle.
Yep.
But didn't they say it was an oracle of Gaia?
An oracle that was spoken to by Gaia. Or had Gaia spoke to them. But
Stands to reason that Gaia would know that we're not in the place that she's taken interest in. This is going up the corporate ladder.
Yep.
Alright, I think we've got what we're gonna get out of her. Also gonna try pushing it further.
Before you leave, can you send us the phone number? Once you retrieve your phone and leave Nebraska.
I could, yes.
Will you?
will.
Very well.
Right.
How long do I have to convince my sisters?
How long did we give? Oh, what's his face?
We're meeting them tomorrow.
48 hours. No killings between now and then. If you want to kill someone, do it across state lines.
Pescatarianism is in, so you know.
Very well, very well.
And if there is, and he pats Shauna on the head, who is probably doing her intimidation thing.
Her hat's on backwards and everything.
Wings are kind of, flared up.
Flared out.
At least as much as you can in 8-foot ceilings.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. She's the size of a big dog, even with her wings stretched out. She'd be touching the ceiling, probably.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't have like the wings on her back style of dragon.
That's true. That's true. It's her front.
Wyvern style.
It's
Yeah.
wyvern style dragon.
Sasha will move to start undoing any ties that are on her.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Y'all used.
Chain.
Did you really have to use a pipe to secure her?
I think it was chains and like the. Did y'all do something with jumper cables? I forget. It was whatever you could find in the
yes.
back of that guy's car.
Yes, it was chains and jumper cables. No, it was a pipe and jumper cables, and then he attached her with chains to the pillar when we got her here.
Okay.
Yep.
bordering on cruel and unusual punishment.
He doesn't want to take any chances.
Well, they were tied. She was tied up with the jumper cables, not like clamped with them.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Connor will once he gets free, he will take the pipe and
Kind of rubs her.
No hard feelings. You protect your family, I protect mine.
I can understand that. I will keep our bargain.
see that you do.
And then she quickly makes her way to the door.
Oh, before you leave, just so you know, violating a bargain with one of the Shin carries a very high price. Don't disappoint me, please.
Is that another word for God?
It's his pantheon.
Gotcha. Yes,
Sasha would
I assume pissing off a god is generally a bad thing.
Sasha will make sure to give her a number to contact. She's probably by this time gotten a burner phone, so she's not handing out her personal phone number
Oh no!
to every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Oh, that would be great. You give her a business card with your personal number on it. She runs off.
No.
The Varangian band runs into her, finds your phone number.
No, it's a burner.
Then they're having meetings. I think the other band is up to some crap.
It's a burner.
They're always out of town. Bad stuff happens. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever get trapped in one of my campaign worlds, I'm running a shop that sells burner phones.
At least for vampire.
You'd make a killing.
Vampire, Scion.
Mm-hmm. Anything in the modern world, basically.
Vampire especially, though.
Yeah, I used a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
We went through so many phones.
Dead.
We're the reason they're having to enact that charger law.
Yeah.
But okay, she departs and, if you watch it all, she seems to be beelining for the lake.
At that point, Connor is screeching. Sean's like, "You did a good job."
I could have eaten her.
You could have. And if they violate their deal, you're free to eat her.
Ooh.
Does this place have a roof?
Yeah.
With access to it? Or just like a roof?
It's a roof. I can get you up there real quick if you need to.
I'll figure it out.
I can literally
Oh,
roll with you.
I've got it. Walking out.
Yeah, because this is a little house, if I recall.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a warehouse or anything. This was just a little house, a little residence.
Just casually climbs the roof.
Yep.
She has to go figure out how to get her legend back, okay? She's gonna go pout for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
She had a bad evening.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Hilarious, you get another message from Violetta, telling you to, or telling basically, it's to you, but it's clearly it comes to your phone. It's clearly addressed to the entire band.
Mm-hmm.
We probably need to meet sometime in the morning.
Yeah.
Kind of like stick my head out the door. See Sasha like climbing up, like
trying to shimmy up a gutter.
Whatever you're doing, just be done so we can get up in the morning.
I'll be awake.
All right.
If need be, I can handle media stuff while we're meeting with the band.
I don't think this is media stuff. I think this is just a person who is trying to help us.
Nah, it's. I turned on the news. This is gonna be. We need to do some media stuff.
No, that's fine. But we still have to meet with this person.
But wouldn't it be best all the media stuff if we're all there, not just one of us?
Well, here's the thing.
Hanging down in a window. Yes.
Yes, I get that, but
Well then,
here's my thought process. I can be in more than one place at once.
I understand you can't.
Let me finish. Me being who I am, the media is counted as part of the domain of the Shin. And if need be, I can also grant myself a title which will help in speaking with them.
Now just full on hanging upside down in a window. That's not going to bite us in the ass at all.
Fine.
I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but I don't know. It feels like everything we try to do to help this damn city backfires in our face.
Yeah, it's like someone's behind it or something. I'm just trying to figure out who it is. We're all frustrated. It's okay.
Except for the story
asked
guide,
you,
who's just
Jason.
eating this up.
No one asked you, Jason.
It would be easier so that the town, despite the fact they are starting to turn against us, doesn't automatically now start doing it tomorrow. If you're the only one that shows up for this interview. If it is an interview or whatever it is she needs us to be there for. Because they already think we don't care. Now they'll know in their heads that we care less if only you just show up. Copy you or whatever.
I'm trying to spend the propaganda against the propaganda machine. I don't know. Everything everything is going to bite us in the ass.
Probably.
Well, I don't know. So that's something I could do, but I'm just spitballing plans here.
If anyone needs to play scapegoat, I'll do it. I'm the only one they recognize.
I already had an idea for that. And it's not you playing scapegoat.
So good at it, though.
I don't care.
Hilarious. Maybe for the first time with their love perfume, kind of like looking between the two of you, like, wait a minute.
What?
They're not saying it out loud. They're just kind of like looking between the two of you.
Can I help you?
No.
So I shouldn't step up next time you get overwhelmed with something.
Let's just get some sleep.
I'll
Look.
help Sasha get in.
Just kind of like
Come on.
she climbs down easily enough. She's like, I've got this. I still have to figure out how to get any power back.
Well.
Don't do the trick you did last time.
My altar's at my house. If there's any media looking to pounce on us, they're probably waiting at my.
Well.
No, I'm not going mock Jesus across town and through my own window.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was gonna say I could get there quick, and if it's portable, I can do it silently and bring it here.
I'll deal with it. I am just exhausted. I'm gonna go find couch and just
I'm gonna go.
like that toddler. I take a nap right here.
Mm.
Let's just get some sleep.
Shauna sees everybody else crashing out, gets up, goes to her room. Shuts the door without slamming it this time.
Well, while everyone's asleep, Connor actually is going to leave. And he will be using Walk Unnoticed as he heads over to the park.
So he flips out his compact, looks at himself in the mirror.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
part of how you activate it.
Sailor Moon transformation sequence.
More or less.
The American or the Japanese version?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Trick question. Yeah, he'll head there.
Okay, it's probably 1-ish, 1 or 2 in the morning by this point.
Yeah. He's got some coffees he's sipping on just for caffeine. He'll go over to the trees like, "Are you awake?"
I wasn't. Trees aren't very active at night. And the Kadama comes
Sorry.
climbing down.
We've been rather busy as of late, and this is the earliest I could get over there. And we have a busy day tomorrow. I have 2 questions to ask. One, I need to invoke a little bit of your power to do. And the second is something you've technically already given me, but I'm not sure how to utilize.
What is it that you don't know how to utilize?
Well, you know, us scions are geared towards particular callings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with you, there's that little bit of the judge in me. I'm not sure how to bring it out. Like, do I have to ask you for a specific like portion of that power, or is it just something that I get?
Just borrow a cup of Judge.
Yeah.
Alright, let me look at
But
Cup of Judge
basically,
Joe.
the Kadama gives Connor the judge calling, but it's a little unclear as to how to use the knacks from callings that aren't naturally a part of you.
Oh, I do that with Samuel. My guide gives me the order of purview.
No, that's purview.
Yeah, you would still have to buy the knack to use it, I think.
Yep.
Okay. But he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it game-wise, it functions the same as just having it yourself.
Okay.
You know, except if you did something to, like, piss the Kadama off, it might, withdraw or whatever.
Right. Okay. And secondly, we...
Oh, you get some neat stuff just for having it, I think.
Yeah.
Indisputable analysis, lie detector.
Mm-hmm. There's one in particular that's really nice that I was gonna ask about, which was
Is it nothing but the truth?
No, it's
That's order. No,
Oh,
that's it's it's the truth comes out or something like that.
The truth arises.
Truth rises. That's it. Yeah. Is it like it automatically tells me if they're hiding something for a particular crime? And I make a knack roll, and if successful, then they're forced to admit to it. And there's others that are fun in there, but there's one where it's like, hey, if you get hit, they automatically take a damage for hitting you.
I need that.
But secondly, I need a little bit of your knowledge before I go. Where you've dealt with some sirens recently, or what I think they're sirens. Do you know anything about who might have led them here? The one we interrogated called her Cassandra.
There is the old. Let's see. Do you have to roll for?
For specific knowledge, yes. Unless you want to just give it to me.
No. I mean, he brings up the old Cassandra from the Trojan War.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's provide you with one inside historical fact about the current situation that you didn't already know, even if you have no way of gleaning it yourself.
If you want to give me a roll for that, we can see what he knows.
Okay. So it'd be manipulation and what would this be? I'll use academics since it's knowledge based.
Could be occult.
Nah, it's the specific skills that are linked to the Kadamar, academics and survival.
Oh, I'm sorry. Academics in.
Yeah. I don't know if that means I get like a okay.
Not bad.
That'll do ya.
So, how much info do I get for that?
3 10s. Jesus Christ.
Like, do you have any like general enhancements there?
Oh yeah, that's 8.
Shit.
There went all your rolls for the day. You better hope we don't have combat.
Worth it if it helps.
Over the past 2 or 3 years, there has been a talk of a new oracle named Cassandra. Though where the Cassandra of old was a priestess of Apollo, this one serves Gaia.
That
As many oracles did, as most oracles did in the ancient times before Apollo.
okay.
He first heard the name when someone was speaking to him about events over in the eastern coast.
What events was that?
There was a band of scions that had stumbled into some sort of situation and made themselves a nuisance to Gaia.
Okay.
It said that she used her oracle to disrupt the band. The band eventually split and went their own way.
I'm not there. My gears are turning.
Okay.
My OOC gears are like, wait a minute.
anything else about that?
There was some rumor that she was in Kentucky for a little while. No major events there, just rumor milling.
Uh huh.
Fucking Kentucky.
Hey, that's my home state.
Hey, I live like a mile away from it.
Hey, screw you.
I've been there twice.
Nice.
I used to live there. So.
Mammoth Caves once.
Mammoth Caves is great. I love Mammoth Caves.
And then me and a buddy that's from Paducah ran through Paducah one time. Hit their comic shop and some barbecue joint.
Fair.
Paducah really reminds me a lot of Decatur for some reason. I don't know.
You know, you're not wrong, actually. I can see that.
But he's heard no rumors of her being active in Olympus. But as we all know, Gaia is active in Olympus now. So
Yeah.
if your band is being plagued by odd coincidences, that would fit the MO she used on the other band.
Okay. Well, we certainly have been. Do you happen to know the name of the other band?
They call themselves the Band of the Commonwealth. They were from Massachusetts.
Okay.
Why does that sound familiar?
Because the Commonwealth was the name of that area in Fallout 4.
Well, yeah, but
Well, Massachusetts' technical name, I think, is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Preston Garvey was part of the band. I don't know.
Now the settlement needs your help. Let me mark it on your map.
God damn it.
We had to go there, didn't we?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Went there, got a T-shirt, came back.
Are you telling me you
I'm
wouldn't
not
like
sorry.
a laser musket in this game?
God,
I
at least
mean,
it would be
If
cool.
we play Aberrant next game, I'm on it.
Hey, my Icons game, my brother's got a character, well, last season he had a character named Muckboot, who was a veteran of the French and Indian War
Uh-huh.
that had been off in space with the hunting club for the last 100 or 200 or so years.
Off in space with a hunting.
I mean, as one do.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, their meat preservation technology kept him young, so, you know.
Oh, jeez.
Well, he's got a high-tech gun that can morph out into whatever he needs, but it looks like his old flintlock most of the time.
Jeez.
You know, and he fakes the Appalachian. He was living in kind of the Appalachian area, so he fakes that accent unless he gets pissed off or really caught by surprise, and then he drops into like his old British accent.
Nice.
Yeah, it was all fun. Anyway, though, back to this campaign.
Yeah.
So that's what the Gundama can tell you about Cassandra.
Okay.
No one he's spoken to has ever actually seen her. They
Hmm.
only know of her presence.
Makes sense.
And like I said, she's been active for like 2 or 3 years, that's all.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you.
I'm happy to assist you. You've done much for me. And he gestures around to the shrine.
Yeah, I'll bring some peaches by later. Or tomorrow. There's nothing open right now.
That will be fine.
Okay.
He starts climbing back up the tree.
Yeah, and then Connor will head back to the safe house.
By the time you get there, everybody else is probably asleep.
Yeah.
Dead sleep.
Mm-mm.
So much snoring.
And he will enact a vigil to stave off the exhaustion.
The main him or one of the faux hymns?
Oh, the faux hymns are there. This is the main hymn because he's the one that left.
All right, so the main him is not getting any sleep.
Yep.
Good to know.
I mean, he's used to it.
All right, so the next morning rolls around. How early are y'all going to call Violetta?
What time was the meeting?
2.
Probably well before that.
Oh, had y'all set up a specific time for the meeting?
Yeah, we did.
to be able
Yeah,
to
they
set-
said-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Thursday.
right. Y'all had set that up in the last session, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot you had actually called and talked to her then.
hmm
Yep. So,
So y'all can sleep in a little bit.
Solaris gets up at their old time at like noon.
I think they
You're barely up at
Probably.
all when you get a message from Samuel.
Look at it.
Whew. They are roasting you on the news.
Tell me something I don't know, buddy.
Did your buddy really just run away and leave him? Or leave him, because it was just the one guy that survived.
Yeah, it's funny how, in a case of lampreys, one of them just happens to survive when they literally just kill them all the time. It's almost like they were put up to it by someone.
Could be. Could the other band, or maybe the other band just got there in time to save him.
No,
I mean, it probably takes a
No.
while to eat 4 guys.
I in the time it takes to eat 4 guys, you can easily kill 4 guys. Not that I've killed 4 guys, but I'm just putting it out there.
No judgments, kid. No judgments.
It's still
Just don't tell me anything I got to deny later in court.
uh,
Smiley
Alright.
emoji.
just sun emoji question mark.
Oh, hey, they're interviewing your buddies.
Huh?
He said, oh, hey, they're interviewing your buddies.
Oh no, I know. That is them saying, like, literally texting back, huh?
The Varangian Guard. They're on the news.
Like right now?
Looks like looks like this is from when they talked to him last night, but it's playing right now.
Alright. No.
And he gives you
No.
the channel he's watching.
They'll find an online feed because I don't think a TV works in here.
He doesn't have a TV in here.
He doesn't have an online feed in here.
He really
I
doesn't.
have a phone that works.
That's true. And Olympus
good
not being
morning.
not being a particularly old city, it's actually got a pretty decent infrastructure for that sort of thing.
Yep.
So yeah, you pull it up, and yeah, it's the news crew interviewing them by the road, and you can kind of see that little plant in the path back to the shore back behind them,
Mhm.
and you can still see the police moving around, active crime scene kind of thing.
Sure.
At one point, you even see them bringing bodies out. I mean, covered up and on stretchers, but.
Sure.
And it's Penelope and Kim being interviewed. Who, most of the time when the Varangians are interviewed for something, those are the two that do most of the talking.
I'll make sure the captions are on, so like, when you're like 11 and hiding your phone from your dad?
I'm awake.
Yeah, you're not here.
We didn't have cell phones when I was 11, so.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, you have your Game Boy playing or whatever, or your NES or something. Do I have to go further back?
Shove the entire NES under the pillow.
Basically.
Turn the TV off. Hope they don't see the red light.
But yeah, so they're interviewing them too. They want to know, is it true that the – what's y'all's band's name again?
Ignis Eternum.
Ignis Internum.
Eternum.
Eternum, not internum. Internum's a very different Ignis.
Mm-hmm.
That's like Taco Bell.
Yep.
Eternum. Is it true the Ignis band was here and ran? And Penelope's like, they called us and let us know of the situation here. I believe there may have only been one of their members that stumbled across this. So calling in backup was probably the reasonable thing to do. But as but her her tone, she's like trying not to throw anybody under the bus from the sounds of it.
Sure.
Which is kind of undercut when Kim snorts.
Oh boy.
Penelope cuts an eye, but continues talking. That they were staking
let
out one of the
Penelope
other
talk.
spots. Clearly the Varangian band was staking out. Two of the spots. Not the Varangian.
They were.
Excuse me. The Ignis band was staking out two of the spots. We were staking out another one. When she's asked, she tells them no. It wasn't a coordinated plan between us. We didn't even know they were back in town. I believe they had just arrived in earlier in the evening. And when she's asked, well, why didn't Miss Adele try to help? She's got no answers for that. She's she's like, some members of a band are more combat, capable than others. She don't know the specifics. In the background, you see Chad chatting with a female police officer.
Naturally. Is there anything besides Chad weird going on in the background?
Like I said, you see him come out with the bodies. Occasionally, you can make out just enough to see somebody with red hair in the background. Enough to make you assume Dixie must be over close to the shore.
Right. Just picture she just has her axe out like, get you bastards.
She just has a flaming axe laid over her shoulder.
As one do.
Yep.
She'd have had a flaming axe. I'd be showing it off all the time.
Same though. Be
Look
like,
how neat
hey.
this is, and right up in people's faces. Every smoke right now. Oh, you didn't like?
This place, you don't really need an axe at a fast food restaurant. It's an open carry state.
You went there.
There's laws about swords. I don't know if there are laws about battle axes.
It's the same law.
But so the interview goes on about that, and they ask what the band found when they got here.
Mm-hmm.
She said there were a lot of tracks on the shore showing that there had been more of the creatures, though she says they just looked like women when she saw them. There was only one on the beach when they arrived, and it had only just started feeding on the survivor. But it sprinted for the water and disappeared under the water as soon as it saw the four of them approaching. Yeah, she's like, we're many things, but I suppose subtle wasn't one of them. But and she basically gives a description, but it's just vaguely humanoid, female. As soon as it saw us, it turned and dove into the water and took off at great speed. It didn't seem wise to pursue it into the water. they proceed to ask her, what she thinks it is, and she goes into the general, some variation of siren sort of thing. She suggests businesses in the area, like the plant that's got some security, refocus some of their cameras kind of on the shore and keep an eye out for any employees that are wandering off. And just kind of a general stay away from the shoreline at night if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Until the bands are able to capture or run off or kill these creatures. And there's a few more questions. They keep bringing you guys up.
Yep.
If Miss Adele was here alone, why was she here alone?
Does Kim try to get something in edgewise?
Uh,
Or does it just
Other than that one snort, not really.
Okay.
Then it goes back to like this was like a replay from what they had, broadcast live last night. But that was the middle of the night.
Right.
When it goes back to the live newscast, they bring up the fact that there was an anonymous tip about an abandoned car. They can't, the driver is now considered missing. And they show a picture of him. It's a 30-ish-year-old guy. Let's see. Robert had finished changing the tire.
Mm-hmm.
Had he put the flat tire in the trunk, or did he just leave it laying out there?
He probably would have stowed the bad tire in the trunk.
So yes, at the moment the police have no idea why the car was stopped there.
Car should have run. I don't know what happened.
But and there's a general kind of, if you have any information on, what might have happened to this guy. Of course, they bring up the fact that he's by the waterfront too, so
Yep.
And not too far from where one of the other disappearances was. And there's some general chit chat between the hosts of the show about how many bands does the city really need? They talk to the police captain. He talks about they're increasing patrols now. They've got an idea of what it is. At the suggestion of the Varangian band, they're getting some ear protection for their officers. The mayor, or the mayor. The mayor is basically going to set up a curfew for the shoreline. Now, workers are exempt, so there's still going to be people there, but they're actually going to close that little section of road at night until this is resolved. And then it goes on to, other news.
Yeah. I'll text Penelope at some point and be like, what was it? I had something funny. And then zoop.
Mood.
You'll think of it later, after the moment's passed.
I'll text her and be like, you're right, it is unwise to follow the predators of the sea into the sea. Or lake, as it were.
Oh, you get back. Oh, you saw the interview.
Just finished staring again.
That's the only answer you get back, though.
Speaking of predators, Sasha's burner phone get any message as far as the phone number?
It's been several hours. Yeah, you would have. There's no message with it. It's just the phone number gets texted to you, or a phone number gets texted to you.
Yeah. Tosses it to Talarius.
Huh?
Phone number
I mean, all right.
for the
So,
Cassandra.
no, I get it. I get it. Just look at it.
Oh, y'all are awake.
Yeah.
It's noon. I've been
Yeah.
awake.
I went out to get some more info while y'all were napping.
What'd you find?
Well, this Cassandra is an oracle of Gaia.
Okay.
And turns out that I don't know if you have heard of the Band of the Commonwealth
No.
out
No.
east. They were brought down and kind of forcibly split apart by a rather lengthy series of unfortunate coincidences.
And so that's what's happening to us, isn't it?
Because they drew Gaia's ire.
How did we do?
What have we fucking done to Gaia?
I have no idea, but from what the Kadama says, this is kind of the same MO that she used to break that band apart.
Refocus. Try and figure out what the hell Gaia wants with this city. Or with us.
Yeah.
I can try to see
Man,
if I can talk to her.
That's
To Gaia? That might be dangerous. Like, maybe not directly to Gaia.
Oh, she's just one of the stoutest
Oh.
titans around. We fine.
Maybe
family.
not her per se. She'd probably be too busy trying to figure everything else out to get rid of us. But somebody.
Don't forget, there's also Cernogg to deal with, who made those werewolves specifically to come and hunt us down.
Why would Cernogg and Gaia be working together?
I don't know a lot about the Titans of the Theoi, but wouldn't she kind of have some say over his domains, so to speak? Being a primordial?
Mm.
And also, Cernogg might be annoyed that we kind of killed the leader of the Wild Hunt and currently have his cloak.
Honestly, if he's still annoyed about that, he needs to get the fuck over it. You take an L, you move on, and try to kill it some other way.
Well, either way, that might be what's happening.
That means I have people to talk to.
Either way, we do need to talk to Violetta and get something going.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand, the news is probably going to be eating this shit up.
Oh, undoubtedly.
They already kind of were, just from that nonsense with the other group that we met in China that wanted to fight me.
You didn't hear what they said about you, so. Well, not the group of China, but the if a single snort or sneer could say 1,000 words, and they'll replay it for Connor.
Hmm. I'm gonna kill him.
Maybe that's just what Cassandra wants.
But anyway. So that's what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do y'all have anything y'all want to get done prior to going down to talk to Violetta?
I don't know.
I'd probably like to very publicly go back to my apartment to get something to wear.
So you're gonna stroll in looking normal?
And are you gonna stroll out of the safe house looking normal?
No. That no. But
Okay.
going,
I'm about to say, you said very publicly, so my brain went, wait a minute.
I just wanted to show up like 2 blocks away, just very publicly walking back to my apartment.
Gotcha.
When you get there, there are some protesters outside.
I'll just walk by. They can say whatever they want.
And they do, and it's not flattering. Some of
Uh-uh.
it's fairly hurtful. Some of them want to know where you were when this was going down.
Just keep walking. Just back straight, neck up, or chin up, think murder.
You stroll into the foyer. No Varangian guard stationed there now.
Go figure. I'll look at the person at the front and be like, "What happened? Did the protesters scare him off?"
No, they just haven't. They haven't been here the last couple of days.
Well, that's a fun coincidence.
They might be watching from outside. I don't know.
Aw.
Some of the other residents were noticing they were always down here, so I don't know if the manager said something to them or.
I don't know. Have a good day, buddy. They'll go up. They'll start to go up. And as they get to their apartment and open it up, like they'll look at Samuel and be like, when you said they were roasting me, you didn't mean 10 feet that way.
He looks up surprised. What are you talking about? I haven't been outside this morning.
Picks him up and like points him at the crowd of people.
Well, you're a few floors up, so
Yeah.
It's not like he could
Okay.
hear them. They're not really chanting or anything. They're just kind of there with some
Okay.
sign. He goes, "Oh, that kind of sucks."
Just a little bit. They didn't hit me or anything, so they just called me unflattering things, which fair enough. I do kind of feel like shit about it.
Yes. Did y'all send Sasha out on her own? Oh, well, they were talking like there was only one of them, or one of y'all. You know what?
Much more complicated than that.
You know what? Sit down, kid. I'll make you some breakfast. Tell me everything.
Okay. I will do that, but give the truncated version because I gotta go tell Violetta that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he's scrambling eggs or whatever it is. He goes, yeah, that sounds like sirens.
It was quite the night. First night back, almost get seduced to death.
Yeah, there's worse ways to go.
You say that now until you see the lamprey teeth.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with a lot of teeth. Some of it's a good time. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well,
I'm not saying I want to die that way. I'm just saying it's in like my top 10 ways to go.
Add to Samuel's list of kinks.
is one of them a certain barmaid's? Never mind. You know what? Never mind.
Well, I'm not picky. It's not just one particular barmaid. Yeah.
Okay. I guess talking about it has helped a bit, but I can't get over my situation here, so.
Plus, you have the fun of watching Samuel using a step stool to get up where he can cook on the counter.
I actually do take a picture of that. That goes in the album later.
So how do you kids plan to dig yourself out of this?
Upward, I guess. It's either we never leave again or we leave forever.
It'd be a shame to leave. You got a really nice apartment here. And your mom would probably be quite upset.
Yeah, probably.
I might have to hang around and he looks at you, comfort her.
Smacks the fuck out of him as soon as he says that.
He's like, no, I'm joking. That'd be a clear violation of man code. And your father does not take that sort of violations. He doesn't take it well.
I'm not sure
I
how
find
to
myself
take.
in love with a porcupine or something. You laugh. I've seen it.
I believe it. I just don't know how highly I want to hold my father's regard on me. If I went to the mountain of honey or whatever the hell in China, and Connor and his father have such a warm relationship.
Well, is the Monkey King married? Is there a Monkey Queen out there to get mad?
It's just, why can't I have that, man?
Samuel kind of sits down, starts eating. Now, I don't know Sun Wukong very well. I mean, we have been at a party, it's the same party a time or two. But he's really emotional. He's warm right now, but he could, something could set him off and he could end up going to war with his pantheon again.
But not his son. Or children,
We hope.
if I'm to be believed, if whatever that logbook was to be believed.
But he could also get bored or just distracted. He's been known to get distracted for decades at a time.
Sure, but the here and now.
And I'm sure your dad would hang out with you more, but that would bring more attention from Psyche. Maybe he just wants to spare you that.
But if he's there, he can, roll the fuck off.
And to be completely honest, your father's folks aren't always the best parents.
I noticed. Trust me, I've noticed.
I mean, every now and then they'll have a favorite, but a lot of times it's kind of sink or swim.
The best one is probably they'll look up and around and making sure no fucking butterflies. Artemis? But only she makes a, daughter.
If she approves of her daughters, yes. But I've also seen her start ignoring daughters once they got married.
Just I wasn't ready for the joy of finally having a father, and then the disappointment that came with having a stepmother.
Yeah, well, stepmothers are always the worst.
We both look up and see if there's any butterflies.
Actually, Samuel, he doesn't seem nervous saying that. The evil stepmother is a very old trope, and the Romans and
Yep.
Greeks were very fond of it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Guess just realizing that, you know, that stuff that Psyche had against me, I knew it all along, I just didn't want to admit it to myself.
She's not a bad sort, really.
Are you sure?
Your father did betray her, sort of. I mean, if he told her ahead of time, hey, this is going to be an open marriage, maybe she wouldn't have the room to complain. But, I don't approve of her taking it out on you. I'm just saying I understand why she's upset.
I already told them I wouldn't. I already told them that I wouldn't contact my dad, but that doesn't mean, and they look pointedly at Samuel, that you can't.
I might have been in touch with your dad a time or two.
Just,
He may
you know.
just be waiting for your stepmother to get distracted by something. I ain't saying that's the case, but she's watching him pretty close right now.
I guess. That makes me feel a little better, but
Yeah, well, everybody in your family's got a lot of family drama, so
it was a lot easier when it was just me and my mom.
It was a lot easier when you were just mortal.
That's also true.
And while you're not exactly immortal yet, you are a little more than mortal.
Technically, still immortal in that I am not mortal. Just not the, live forever immortal.
So what's your battle plan for today?
See what Violetta wants and go from there. They'll look back and forth and lean their head in and kind of whisper. Do you know Gaia does the do you know about Gaia and the Commonwealth band?
Not really. I vaguely remember hearing about a band in Massachusetts
That just
back just a few years ago.
mysteriously disappeared or mysteriously disbanded.
Yeah, they hadn't been together all that long, 3 or 4 years, I guess.
The hell could they have done to get Gaia's ire?
Stumbled across some machination of hers and fouled it up. Maybe they took out a child of hers, like you guys did.
Huh?
The Chimera?
Oh. Well, it came at us. What am I supposed to do? Die?
I'm just saying, if she had somebody there doing something.
Came at us.
And we didn't kill it.
That's true. Y'all give it back.
Yes, we did.
But no, they may have killed a scion of hers, or an oracle of hers, or a priestess of her. I mean,
They did mention that an oracle kind of rolled up in that area around the time the band disbanded.
Yeah, oracles can be tough to deal with. They're not much in a fight, But if they're really on their game, it's hard to sneak up on them.
And the tyrants kind of just coincidentally knew that we were out of town. Like some oracle just told them.
That is interesting. That would explain why stuff keeps happening when you're gone.
So, I think the game plan is just to, just keep swimming.
I will.
Alright, it's almost time. I need to get dressed. Thanks for the food. It was pretty good, actually.
I've been a bachelor a long time. You have to learn to cook eventually.
Pat Samuel on the shoulder. Thanks a lot. That cleared my head a little bit.
I'm glad.
They're going to get
And whatever
changed
you
and-
didn't eat, he scrapes on his plate.
Oh yeah, there's like half an egg and like a little bit of pork chop. They'll get dressed. They're gonna wear something that says like they still care about how they dress, but they're not like being completely ostentatious.
So still nice, but not fancy.
I'm not wearing the Gucci slides.
I love Olympus t-shirts on. All right, Sasha, what are you doing in this little early part of the day that y'all got free?
How many messages does she have from her grandparents?
Let's see. None, actually.
That both disappoints and concerns her, and she doesn't know how she feels about that.
Maybe they just haven't watched the news.
It's afternoon. She will real quick run over to her apartment and get changed, just so she looks decent. And then go over to her grandparents.
How is she approaching her apartment?
Smooch him as big, scary dog, and her not looking like her.
Okay. You don't have the protesters that Talarius had. But there is a van sitting out front. As you walk past, you kind of glance and you realize it's a news van.
Fantastic.
And there's a lady you think you've seen on one of the news stations. You know, not like one of the main reporters, but you know, sitting in the passenger side. There's a guy sitting in the driver's side there, like eating something and chit chatting, and kind of keeping an eye out. They glance at you as you walk by, but
Yeah, she'll get changed. Probably, she knows she doesn't have enough time to try and do anything that would get her any of her legend back, but she's gonna pull maybe some leaves from her houseplants and set them at the altar. I'll try and figure out something. I'm sorry, and just heads over to her grandparents.
there are some protesters because they live in an apartment above the shop. I think that's how we had it set up.
Yeah, it was above the shop.
There are some protesters outside the shop.
Oh, so it is time for murder.
And the shop's closed.
Seconds, please. Fuck off!
Oh, she so wants to. She has lived there long enough to know back ways into the area, so she's going to
Oh, sure. It's got
climb
a big
a fence or
fenced-off-
something.
Yeah, it's got a big fenced-off backyard.
Yeah,
So you
she's
got
gonna
some-
climb a fence.
Yeah, you got some storage and greenhouses and stuff out back. So
Yeah, smooch and wading pool.
Smoochum just sits there and looks at you as you're climbing over the fence.
She would attempt to yeet Smoochums, but Smoochum is a big boy. He's what? We said he's probably about like large Rottweiler size.
Yeah, Rottweiler or Mastiff, one or the other.
Looks at
Which,
him.
granted, there's a
You-
fair amount of difference there.
If you work with me, boy, I'll try and get you over.
I mean, he is a dog right now.
Yeah, he is in doggy form.
I guess it depends on how high the fence is.
Do I need to make like an athletics roll to yeet to the dog?
Let's see, if it's a business, you probably wouldn't have like the waist high,
It would
fence
probably
you'd
be
have
like
in the
a
backyard. It'd probably be a
6.
6-foot fence.
Why
And probably not
just
chain
throw-
link. That's probably like a wood privacy fence kind of thing.
Throw a ball for the boy.
behind all of that giant spooky dog. He is still a lazy MFer.
Well, he's used to having a reptile's metabolism.
Yeah. She's like, "Come on," and like tries to yeet the dog.
Yeah, the dog
Not
butt
so
right
much
by your
yeet the
face, and
dog.
You kind of lift
Yeah,
him up.
it's-
He managed to hook his legs. He's giving you some very uncertain
Crocodilian.
looks, like he is not confident in your ability to do this.
I know. I can't just like jump over the gate like some of the band. Just work with me here.
Mm. And then finally you get him over. He's able to. He finally gets up high enough to get his back leg to hook on the. And he got a
Yeah.
forward. It doesn't sound like the most graceful landing on the other side.
Oh, it's not. She knows he's bouncy though. She's going to like hands on knees, like take a moment to recover from that and attempt to yeet herself over.
Give me an athletics roll.
Oh boy.
Athletics, what?
Oh, strength, I guess.
Strength?
Might.
Might. Okay.
Excuse me. Too many systems, too similar.
Oh, this will go well. That went better than I thought, considering I only have 2 dice. So 2 successes.
You don't get it. You're not graceful doing it, but you get over.
Yeah.
And then you land. You look around. You wonder where Smoochums went. And then you see him in his natural form, just beelining for his wading pool.
Don't get too excited. We'll probably have to leave in a little. Well,
Only when he gets to
Don't
it,
get too
you
excited.
start hearing that unhappy rumbling sound.
is it empty?
Almost all the water has evaporated out of it, and there's a bunch of leaves and stuff in it.
He scratches his head. Come on, I'll take you to the park or somewhere later. Looks like they forgot about us for a little while, eh, boy? And goes to look for her grandparents.
You don't have any problem getting into the gym. You just use the back door into the shop, and then.
Yeah, she has a key and all that.
Ooh,
Or the
actually,
key code.
the apartment doesn't have a entranceway from the shop, so there's probably a ladder up to a deck with a back door. 'Cause
Yeah.
You'd probably want at least 2 ways out just in case of fire. So you can get up there, and you've got a key to the place. You can let yourself in or knock or whatever you want to do.
She'll just test and see if it's unlocked first, and if it's unlocked, she'll just let herself in.
Okay, it's unlocked.
Hello?
You hear the TV on in the living room, and when you say hello, you hear your grandmother answer, "Oh, come in, dear," and you hear the sound of your grandfather's recliner. Him sitting up in the recliner.
She's kind of walks in and waits for their reaction first.
They both give you the once over. That's kind of becoming standard. It's like, how many times you've been stabbed this time?
I'm fine. I ran, so no injury.
Well, the news talked like you were probably alone, so that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, you'd think that.
Your grandfather, don't worry about the news. It ain't like any of them would have done anything but run away.
No, but they like to think they would.
Yeah, everybody wants to be a hero.
Do you want me to chase away the people out front?
They both kind of stop and look at each other. That might only make things worse.
Probably.
We figure we just take a day or two off, and they'll probably calm down and move on. They haven't like busted out any windows or anything yet, so you know.
If they're smart, they won't, but mobs, you know.
They have looks on their faces like, no, we don't know. We've never dealt with mobs before.
Mob mentality. One person does something stupid. The other people just up the ante.
He's like, well, we've called the police, but, you know, it's a public sidewalk, so as long as they're not doing anything to the store. And they're not technically blocking the entrance. But we figured if we're closed, we're less of a target, so, you know.
Yeah.
It's all about minimizing, you know, how big a target we are.
I'm sorry.
It's, you know, it's not your fault.
Well, the shop's been a target since hell's since the Alpha Dogs.
Yeah, those were the days. But it's a little disgusting, though, how quickly the city seems to have turned on you.
Unfortunately, we're not the ones that stay. They like the ones that stay better.
I say let them people have it then.
I don't know if it's that simple anymore.
Of course it's that simple. Just, you know, move so we could all just move somewhere else.
I think if misfortune's going to follow us, it'll follow us anywhere we go. And between you, me, and Smoochums, Gaia may have her sights on us. So...
That sounds like an even better reason to run.
her sights would probably be on us if we're here or elsewhere.
On you individually or on you and your friends as a group?
On the band, which I'm still part of.
They both look at each other. Now, we don't want to start an argument.
I know.
But it might be safer for all of y'all. I'm just saying all of you might be safer if you just, you know, went and did your own things for a little while.
That's what they want even more. I don't know. We'll try to figure it out. I mean, if you wanted to move, I understand. I completely understand, but I can't leave the band.
Well, we don't want to leave you. We know you're the only, you know, we're the only family you've got. Well, that you're related to by blood.
Still, though, if it gets too dangerous, just make a break for it. I would rather be alive elsewhere than dead here.
Well, that's how we feel about you, too.
I know, but I'm a little bit more sturdy than you, even if I do have a habit of getting injured.
There's an awkward silence that your grandmother finally breaks by a, "Oh, have you eaten?"
Yeah, we have to meet with the other band and one of the media. I don't know if I'd be able to hold anything down if I did eat.
Your grandmother says, "Yeah, throwing up in an interview would probably be a bad thing."
Probably, yeah. Although it might garner sympathy, who knows with people. I promise.
Yeah, look how nervous she is on TV. Of course she ran away from a monster.
She chuckles at that. I promise I will eat today. I'm sure the rest of the band will not let me avoid that.
All right. Well, just promises if you get in over your head, don't hesitate to run again. Don't let the bullies down there, make you go into a situation you're not ready for.
I will do my best to stay alive.
All right. Your grandfather gives you a hug. Your grandmother kisses you on the cheek.
Yeah, she gives them both a hug. She's probably like right on the border of crying. She's like, I've had a really rough week. I'm a very small mouse and I'm trying my best.
Could you give a bitch a break?
Could it give a bitch a break?
And the earth itself says no.
Yeah. Yeah, she gives them a hug and like, if you need anything or if they get too... Do you want me to leave Smoochums with you?
No, that's okay. We'd rather
Okay.
him be with you.
Okay. I'm gonna...
We've already talked to the police, so they're keeping somebody more
Yeah.
or less in the area just to make sure nothing gets
out of hand. Okay. I'm gonna go jump the fence again. Do you have a stepladder?
Oh yeah, your granddad runs over and gets some.
Okay. She'll kind of grab it and I'll leave it on this side of the fence. Just whenever you guys get a chance, just move it away.
Yeah, your grandfather goes out there with you. He'll put it up once you're across. He
Yeah.
helps you get Smoochums up and over.
And she heads to wherever we're all meeting up again.
All right. Robert, what are you spending your day doing?
That is a good question. Because he'd probably like to head to the shop and mess with something. Though that's not going to probably be an easy trick. Though most people know where his house is, I don't think they know where his new recent business is.
How
I
much
could be wrong.
Have you opened it to the public yet? Have you had the big kind of grand opening to the thing yet?
No, he really hasn't done no big grand opening. He mainly got it established, and then Connor came to him with that request of, hey, let's get everybody some protective jackets. It's like, okay, no problem.
So you've got it on the verge of opening, but you haven't opened it yet, so no. When you get there, there's no protesters or news crew or anything. The fact that you own it isn't a secret per se, but it's not really general knowledge yet either.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, this is where we usually find him at any point, or be able to mess with him. It's like, no, it's just something he happens to own. It's not where he currently works out of yet. But he'd go there and he'd probably take a minute, look and see what material he's got. Maybe look into crafting something, maybe something simple, take off his mind. Maybe a little war hammer of some sorts.
So you just go to work.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He might take a second. He might, kind of put a couple coins down in front of as a little offering to a little shrine that he might have put up in a corner, just as to fellow craftsmen and to his pops. Just kind of put two coins down and just be like, yeah, if you got any wonderful information or insight, I wouldn't mind listening, but only if you got time. And he'll just kind of go back to tinkering.
Okay. Jaden,
Hmm.
what are you doing?
She probably would have gone to her apartment to change clothes.
Okay. Just like Sasha, there's a news crew out there.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of hunker down in the van like they're just kind of staking the place out.
She'll go in. Is Spruce really close to her? And ignore them and go into the building.
Yeah, as soon as they spot you, they start climbing out, but you manage to get in and shut the door before they catch up with you. But when you leave, they'll have the camera out and set up.
Oh no. She then is going to leave Mock Jesus and carrying Spruce out the window when she leaves.
All three of his heads have a tongue lolling out, face into the wind.
Mm.
All right, but where do you go then?
Probably go check up at her job, see how's everybody doing.
Oh, they're doing pretty good. They've covered for your shifts, no problem. They're surprised. They're surprised to see you. They didn't know you were back in town. I mean, they knew one of your friends was back in town, but just for the news. But
Yeah.
And one of them casually mentions that there's been some cancellations in one of your classes.
Not surprised.
They try to be upbeat about it. It's probably just a thing that happens.
Was it after the news?
Well, it's been happening since we've been here today.
Yeah. So I'm kind of not surprised that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can do something about this.
But so they're glad to see you, but they don't really have anything for you to do right now.
Like she was just coming to check up on all of them and whatnot, making sure they weren't being harassed by the news.
No, there actually wasn't a news crew out here or protesters when you got here.
Awesome.
Now you had said something about trying to talk to somebody potentially.
Yeah, we got something going on that it's gonna be in a little while. I had a little bit of time to kill.
Some people come in for their classes and they're kind of giving you a look when they come in. I mean, some of that may just be that you got a three-headed dog next to you. But people that come here for class have probably seen Spruce before.
Yeah.
But and then Connor, what are you? Is there anything you want to get up to?
Well, he's gonna go check on his grandfather, see how he's doing. He's gonna go incognito.
There are some protesters out front. They're not being too unruly or anything, though. There is a news crew out there.
Okay.
But you walk by in either in disguise or unnoticed.
Yeah, he's doing the unnoticed thing.
So yeah, you stroll in without any trouble. Nobody inside notices you.
Yeah. He's gonna look for his dad, see where he is. Not dad, his grandfather.
Oh, he's teaching one of his classes.
Okay. He'll just sort of sit and. How long does this class usually last?
Oh, you look at your watch. He's probably got another 15, 20 minutes.
Okay. He'll just sort of sit and wait then,
Okay.
since I'm fairly certain we have some time before we have to meet up with the other band.
Oh, yeah.
And we still do need to talk to Penelope too. Not Penelope, Violetta.
So yeah, you watch him finish his class. It's one of the more advanced classes, you know, and he talks to everybody briefly afterwards. Yeah. And then he strolls into his office, and you know this is usually the time of day. He'll go in there, he'll make some tea, and he'll sit down and do some of the paperwork.
Yeah. He'll Connor will walk in, take a seat before removing the power.
Yeah, he's pouring himself some tea, and then when he turns around, you're just sitting there.
Yep.
Ah,
Hey, Grant.
I thought you'd be swinging by here at some point.
Yeah. I was just checking in, really see how things are going.
Yeah, protesters outside, but
Yeah.
they haven't really caused too much trouble.
Guy is doing a number.
Is that who's behind all this?
Yeah, apparently. I asked the Kadam I'm looking after. Apparently, this is the exact stuff like this. All the coincidences that have been turning things against us. Series of unfortunate events.
Can't call it that.
An unfortunate series of happenstances.
There you
That's
go.
better. That won't get us copyright struck.
Apparently, that's the same MO that Gaia used on another band to break them apart.
Where was this band at?
East Coast and Massachusetts area.
He's like, oh, the band of the Commonwealth. I've heard of them.
Yeah. It's apparently stuff like this that caused them to break apart too, because they interrupted something of hers, drew her annoyance.
Yeah, that's easy to do with the Greeks.
I don't know what the heck we did.
Wrong place, wrong time, maybe? You told me
guess.
before that you thought Guy had some interest in the city. Maybe she just wants to thin out his defenders.
Well, from what we were told by one of Artemis's huntresses, nymphs, I don't know.
Her huntresses are nymphs. Your grandfather nods as he drinks his tea.
I don't know a lot about them. Apparently, we were warned that she was taking interest in the city, or was moving in the city. I don't remember the exact wording. But yeah, it seems odd that might explain how a note got into one of my various safe houses. That was from Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it wasn't.
Shocker.
Yeah.
I think you'd already called and let him know that, though.
Hmm.
Which is why he's not sounding shocked here.
Yeah.
She's one of the big ones, so walk real carefully.
Yeah. There's only so much we can do carefully, but yeah. I was just checking in really before we had to go do what we need to do.
Yeah, everything's been going pretty well here.
Damage control, etc., etc.
We've lost a few students to Kim school, but that's All the dojos around here have been losing students to him. Turns out going around and beating up the other teachers is really good advertisement, apparently.
Well, maybe we should get advertised that I beat the rest of his school.
I've seen the video.
And I held back.
I approve of your sportsmanship. That fella you were fighting was skilled, but he was, normal person skilled, so.
Mm-hmm.
You handled him pretty decisively without just completely humiliating him.
That was the point. I didn't want to be Kim. But anyway, I guess we have a meeting to go attend.
Yep, I don't envy you having to deal with the media. That just seems like some unpleasant stuff.
Well, I've got a few plans in place for that.
Nothing too violent, I hope.
No, nothing violent, but
We burned down one news station, we'll just burn them all down.
there may or may not be weeping and gnashing of teeth at some point.
Just
That's
make sure
what
you don't
Dad said.
just make sure you don't dig a ditch for somebody else and fall into it yourself.
No. I was following Dad's suggestion.
That's always a plan of action to be very careful with.
Yeah.
Because sometimes your father can give very good advice. And sometimes he just gives advice he thinks is funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I've got some plans. I kind of have one thought up where I might be able to get Sasha off the hook.
I don't say this to criticize, but was she really running out there by herself?
No,
Oh,
Talarius
that-
was with her. What the hell they were doing, I don't know. But sorry, I literally caught myself mid-word. I mean, Robert and I were dealing with another, and we captured one of the creatures that was doing it, interrogated them, extracted information, kinda came up with a deal. Her and her sisters should be leaving. So there shouldn't be any more disappearances, at least from them.
Well, let's hope not.
I'm not going to be as naive to say they're the only ones doing it, even though it was an Oracle of Gaia that pointed her and her sisters this way.
Well, if their plan is to simply flood you with problems, something else will come up. Even if you resolve this one, they'll throw something else at you. You just got to be prepared for that.
Don't I know it?
Has anything been happening to this other band?
No. As far as I know.
I wonder if that's a thing. Or if it's intended to make you suspicious of it.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, the only reason they got cut up with the werewolves is because the werewolves thought they were us.
Things were a lot less complicated when you were a little fella.
Sorry.
Hey, he smiled. But eventually time rolls around, you've got to go meet up with the rest of the band. And y'all were going to meet with Penelope first or Violetta first?
Violetta, I thought, because that was the one that was like specifically on a timetable.
Yeah.
Before Telarius leaves, they take one of their screens and just put it against the window, and it just has on repeat like the greatest hits that we've done for the town. Saving people from the explosions at the news station, disarming a bomb, the whole thing in the other town with the Great Hunt.
Connor coming out of that burning building with the old lady.
Yeah, exactly. Some really good, like, thought-provoking, emotional stuff.
Mm.
Just have it there, against one of the windows. I don't bother to look at what their reaction to it is. I just do that as I'm leaving. I'll have it there, and then I'll head down and start leaving.
They're still protesting as you leave.
Sure.
And they're still shouting questions at you.
Still ignoring them.
But none of them try to get physical with you or anything like that. They're still relatively, under control.
Sure.
Mm.
Do I get the sense if this is for the news that it'll come on like at later on tonight?
That's possible.
Or-
There is somebody out filming the protest.
No. I mean where I'm going to go see Violetta.
Oh, y'all have no idea. She just said y'all needed to meet and y'all set up a time.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
And the place she sent you to meet was her office, not necessarily one of the studios.
Okay. That's why I had it in my head that I was like, this isn't
But
something strictly for the news yet.
I mean, her studio was in the same building as her office, but
Mm-hmm.
So y'all head downtown to the building she's in. Yeah, her stuff's not the only stuff in the building. But...
Sure.
As soon as y'all walk in, the receptionist gets up. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Miss Sandquist is waiting for you in her office. She shows you to the door. Y'all walk in. Violetta's there. Oh, please come in. I'm glad you're here. Telarius, do you already have some ideas for how you all want to handle this?
No. There's either staying here forever or leaving forever, as far as I can tell.
Which way are y'all leaning?
Or not. Sorry. Bugging. Flying around.
Mosquito.
Kill it. Oh,
So yeah, she shows the ready to seat. Ask anybody if they want refreshment.
Just water, please.
And her receptionist runs around and gets the stuff. So clearly, you need to do another interview.
Yeah.
Talk about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
may I offer a suggestion?
Of course.
They don't want to hear from us. They don't care what we've done for them. Interview the people we've helped. Interview the people that know us.
That's
Do not
a bad
interview my
idea,
mother.
Actually. Well, he'd certainly go interview the judge and his wife. Or no, it was the dean and his wife. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
They're still here in town.
The people of Allgood. The people from the news station that was blown up.
Well, I don't know if they'd want to be interviewed by us, but I'm sure we get some of the staff, crew. We should probably still get the explanation from your point of view to go out with this. She kind of sits back. I don't want my stations to come off seeming like I'm taking sides, regardless of how much I may be taking sides. But it seems obvious to me there's some sort of smear campaign going on.
At a divine level, but yes.
The other stations are a little too uniform in how they're approaching this. I mean, everybody loves a good story about heroes falling or whatever. But it's beat for beat, tone, the beat. It's just beat for beat, tone for tone.
Yeah, I don't like Ox News either.
Do they have a common benefactor?
Well, we've all got, advertisers and so forth, but nothing that I can really see. I've had to rein some of my own people in. Which, she goes, I have to admit, it looks bad. It's not like they shouldn't be reporting on this attack. But, I'd be surprised if you haven't been receiving a lot of calls wanting interviews.
No, they're just outside our apartment. At least mine and my grandparents' house.
Yep, outside my apartment.
Same.
Well, it will probably take me a day or two, or take my people a day or two to gather the interviews with those people you've helped. Would you like to record something today, or spend a day or two thinking about it until we've got the other material ready? We don't want to wait too long to let all this negative press keep building up.
Should probably get at least something today.
What do we say? Sorry that we got fucking lied to?
Well, expletive aside, that's not a bad start.
Yeah.
And we can make the case that you were intentionally lured out of town.
Which we were.
Yeah. I know.
We'd want to be careful not to make it sound like you were trying to, implicate the other band in any way.
No.
They're, needless to say, very popular at the moment.
Sure. What if we don't implicate anybody, but we say we are onto them? Just them. Not anybody. Not the Varangian band. Not just them.
You just imply that whoever is behind this,
we will find them.
Implying that you already know who they are.
Actually, we kind of do.
That could work. The police use similar tactics.
Yes.
Without giving too much information in an ongoing case sort of thing. We could make that work.
Just tell them, I know, we know, and we are working, and we will find you.
Okay, Liam Neeson.
I'm not going to kill anybody. Never mind.
We have a very particular set of skills.
We do.
Sasha has a very particular set of skills.
Mm.
Everybody else has one skill.
Or one skill. I will murder you, and then I will ask you questions.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, kill them all. Ask questions later.
Yeah.
In your case, you can actually do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Now whether they choose to answer you or if they just give you a ghostly bird and then fade out, up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Just floating incorporeally backwards, flipping the bird.
As they float up into the light.
Yeah.
Or skeletal hands drag them down to hell, whichever.
6 of one, half a dozen. You may be able to talk to my grandparents as well. It's one of the reasons we were gone was to remove a curse from them, which I don't believe has been something we spoke of.
No, I don't
We
think
could
you.
also
I don't think you've
put
publicly
you-
spoken on that yet.
We could also perhaps. Do you think, looking at the others, do you think putting her in contact with the other band of scions would be good or no?
Mm,
Do you think Panacea would put in a good word for us?
literally having one of the goddesses show up. That actually might not be a bad idea.
Sure, so
Viola's like, that would be. I would love that. I'm not sure we could convince people it was true though. I mean, they can
Got
accept
scions.
people at your level and the things you do. Sometimes they start getting more skeptical the higher up the ladder you go.
What are they gonna call it? CGI? Can your office afford CGI?
A little bit, I guess.
I don't know if Panacea would answer us, honestly. None of us are hers.
You did save her son.
Saved the whole of damn Pompeii, but no one cares. Not here.
Yeah, that's true.
Violetta's like wide-eyed at that.
Oh, they.
Like there's
Attack-
people in Pompeii that were still alive?
Their ghosts are free.
Oh, so the
Yeah,
city's like haunted. Oh.
Their spirits were eternally locked in the moment of their death.
Well, that sounds bad, but also sounds very hard to convince somebody of.
Exactly.
Not that I doubt you, but
I say go with interviewing other people.
okay.
For now, at least.
Well, like she
They
said,
don't
like,
want to.
you know, I really do think it'd be a good idea to have an interview with you to go along with that. But you know, we can do that tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah.
Just don't want to wait too long.
Right.
If you can think of any questions, that'd be that people would even care about.
Well,
At
we
this
can talk
point, I
about
have a feeling they're just ready to bury us.
public opinion is a very fickle thing. But if it swings one way, we can potentially make it swing the other. Especially if we can get an interview with your grandparents. You know, if they know that's the reason you were out of town the first time. You know, that we could get a lot of sympathy that way. I mean, everybody's going to understand that. I had a sick relative that, you know, we had to go do craziness to help. Yeah.
It was them and with the Circle of the Empire, so it wasn't just for them, but it was a portion of.
Mm-hmm. We'll probably just keep it simple and just talk about the.
I'll contact them. I don't know if they would pick up a weird number or not. I'll let them know that you may be calling them.
That's fair. I could certainly understand why they'd be screening calls. And she spends a few more minutes, 15 or 20 minutes with you, kind of sorting out, the specifics of how you want to do it. She probably talks a little more to the Delirious because it's, they're the ones that have some media savvy.
A bit. They don't like to admit it, but they're actually pretty good at it.
Telarius is the face of the group.
I don't like to brag, but I am the most modest person alive.
I don't like to brag. My YouTube thing comes out with like 1 million subscribers. Whoops! Where'd that come from?
How do I hold all these subscribers?
Very big hands.
Interestingly, Telarius, your subscriber count has really been fluctuating the last few days.
Gee, I wonder.
You lose a noticeable amount. I mean, not a huge amount, but noticeable.
Sure.
But then it jumps back up. It's like even the bad press is some people are leaving because of the bad press, but then the bad press is also calling other people in. So
Yep.
you've had to ban a few people because they got a little too mouthy. You know how it is.
Sticky posts. Like if you're here to shit talk me, just leave it in this thread, and I'll look at it at some point and ban you later.
Bans were appropriate.
Yep. Blocked. You're all blocked.
But,
None of you are free from sin.
But anyway, she sets up a time a day or two from now, and she can get Sasha in here to interview her. Well, and probably all of you, truthfully, to be talking about the trips, but
Hmm.
it's going to be a Sasha focus interview because it kind of has to be.
Mm.
So anyway, you break out of there, in time to make it to the meeting you had set up with Penelope. Probably at that same restaurant with the back room.
Yeah.
You show up there. It's only her and Kim there. And a couple of the Varangian guard are around. But as far as the band, yeah, it's just the two of them. When you walk in, Kim sees you first. Hughes. Miss Adele.
Gives him a nod. I know you're just raring to say something clever, so just go for it.
He looks like he wants to. And then he looks
Get
like
it
he's
out of the way.
He looks like he's restraining himself from glancing over at Penelope. No, that's not what we're here for today.
I'd certainly hope not.
I'm this close to like spurt it out.
Do it!
I'll let it go for now.
But somebody comes in and takes like a food order, if y'all haven't eaten yet. Kim just orders tea. Penelope orders tea and like an appetizer. She's watching her figure. Penelope finally speaks up, looking at Sasha. So what exactly happened? We didn't really have time on the phone to go over all the details.
You're versed in magic. Look at me and tell me what you see. Since
Okay.
she's down like 2 legend.
I'm not sure how noticeable that is.
Well, you said initially, like when Connor spent the legend to do the
super punch.
The go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Yeah.
That it was noticeable.
Okay. She's like she gives you a good hard look. Oh, you are borderline exhausted.
Yeah. I teleported us all back here to try and figure out what's going on. So there was no way I was not going to be an appetizer for the fish or worse. So I ran. I'm not this group's fighter.
Penelope looks a little sympathetic. I can sympathize with that.
As much as we do. Fish women, we talked to one, mentioned that they should leave. She's like looking around, seeing like, how much should I spill about this, guys?
Kim immediately speaks up. Oh, you have a prisoner. Excellent.
Had.
Oh, you killed it? He doesn't seem upset or judgmental about that. He just, oh, you killed it.
No. As
It
you mentioned,
escaped?
No.
Also no.
Are you gonna keep guessing, or are you gonna let us talk?
You let it go?
As part of a deal, it gets to live, and it will take its sisters and go back south.
Kim casts back. They would protect the city. You fate bound it to this deal, I hope.
That is going to be the part of the next meeting. I intend to fate bind them all. So they all are forced to comply.
Does Sasha look doubtful, or is she keeping a better poker face than that?
She's kind of doing the serious side. I like, when were you going to let all of us in on this part of the plan?
Sure, Sasha.
Kim is focused on Connor as he's talking. Penelope looks like she may have caught that little exchange.
She has a feeling Penelope catches a lot of stuff because her band probably pulls the same shit.
Penelope's like, that's acceptable. That protects the city. I mean, technically they'll go kill elsewhere, but the world's full of predators.
Yep.
It's a fun coincidence that one just happened to live. And I'm not implicating anybody here, but
Kim really gives you a look like, what the F would you be implicating? Or implying?
before you give me that look, it's just a lot has happened, and I think something or someone or a bunch of someones are trying to pit us against each other.
Kim looks skeptical, but Penelope nods her head. I have considered that.
Oh no, it's happening.
I have wondered why things keep dragging you away just as stuff is breaking loose here, but not us.
Well, would you like to know the answer?
I'm quite curious.
We kind of have it down, yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard about, or what used to be, the Band of the Commonwealth?
Kim shakes his head. No. Penelope, on the other hand, is like, yeah, they were based out of Massachusetts.
Before they were broken apart by Gaia.
She's why they
Cassandra.
broke up.
There was a woman named Cassandra, an oracle of Gaia, that popped up in the last few years.
Not very original name.
Yeah, I know. She was the one that basically pointed the sirens here. If my intuition is right, she's also the one that set the centaurs on us with the chimera and those little tiny fey things that stole all the lug nuts on the van.
Penelope's like, this was while you were in Greece or Rome?
This was while we were there, yes.
Oh, probably pygmies.
Okay, yes, then. They said something about having an eternal battle with swans.
That's pygmies.
Okay. But apparently, they were broken up by a coincidental series of bad happenings.
How unfortunate.
Yes. Because they apparently at some point screwed something up of hers.
It's easy to anger the gods.
And apparently, this is speculation, at some point we've probably done the same thing. Because she's coming after us now. I think that's why she's interested in the city. She, again, speculation, might have some kind of hold over Cernunnog too. Because
possibly. Or there could have been an exchange of favors.
Because the werewolves that you fought, that first group, the only reason you ran into them is because they thought you were us.
I see. They didn't realize there was two bands here.
Right.
Which tells me they're cannon fodder. Otherwise, they'd have been given better intelligence.
Mm-hmm. The whole thing with my dad writing to me.
Yes, the reason you went to China.
Yeah, that was a lure. We're being drawn away from the city.
And that was just as the sirens were.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone's trying to
then-
discredit you.
And then, as soon as we get to Beijing, he points to Kim. Your school pretty much ambushed us.
Yes, I saw that video.
Yeah.
They did not send the best against you.
Of course not. You were here.
Not what I meant, but true enough, I suppose.
But
You're probably lucky my master was elsewhere.
Everyone else at the table, eye rolling into the sun.
what? So it's common for your school to bribe public officials?
He looks at you with like this.
Yeah.
That's how bureaucracies work. It's certainly how the celestial bureaucracy works.
Yeah, fair point. But yeah, it was a lure to get us out of the city as soon as this happened.
Which both weakens the defense of the city, discredits you in the eyes of the city,
Thus making our job harder.
and I suppose it could make us look at you funny.
Which in
But then
turn
they
would
might be trying to
invite-
put a wedge between us. Not that we are close anyway, but
we have to
No,
work
don't
together.
joke. You come over and have. Go ahead.
Which, I mean, we work together to protect the city. That's close enough.
yeah, put up a gun. That's the important thing here.
But yeah, it drives a wedge between us in that regard. You might get pressured to try to pressure us out of the city, which in turn leaves the city with one band and us out in the open with no support structure, which then guy go, oh, hi!
Penelope looks up. I know this is going to be easier said than done, but I want to make a suggestion. That kind of regardless of what might be trying to lure you out of the city, that you stay in the area. I mean, easier said than done. If a parent
Yeah.
comes calling, I understand. But
In which case, I'm going to be checking with my sources next time.
If my dad just happens to come by, it's gonna be
Weird.
something.
Oh, you know he's going to happen to come by at some point.
Huh.
He's directly tied in with the Pantheon guy as a part of. He's going to happen to come by.
Well, whenever he gets free time, that is.
That's fair. My
Eh.
stepmom
Her-
is a little ruthless.
Were Gaia and Psyche close? Would
No.
Sasha know that? No.
It's just
I
it's
don't
just the
recall
same
there being
pantheon.
any reference to them having an interaction,
They never.
one way or the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Venus or Aphrodite, whichever name you want to go by. She didn't care for her at all,
Yeah.
but it
It
was
was-
very much a she ain't good enough for my son sort of thing.
Mm.
Kind of the same way Apollo was with Artemis and Orion.
Hmm.
But well, obviously we need to keep in communication, need to changing information like we've been doing. So when you have this next meeting with the Sirens, please let us know how it goes. We're probably going to continue patrolling the waterfront just in case, till we know one way or the other.
Right.
It'll be a little easier now because we can focus on kind of the business, the plants and the warehouses. Since they're closing down the road that runs by, that should keep that side of the city safe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess we wait for the next shoe to drop.
Yeah.
That's. I prefer to be proactive, but
Damn centipede worth of shoes.
That's an interesting mental image.
You're welcome.
at least it's not a millipede.
Too many feet.
Yeah.
Have there been any other rumblings? I'm sorry, that was my phone.
Okay.
It went off right at the moment I hit push to talk.
Good timing. All right, what was your question? What were you saying?
Should look over. Has there been any rumblings of anything else happening?
No, so far. Well, the siren thing is the only danger that seems to have cropped up. It's made the news, but it hasn't been a big deal. But you've had like apple orchards spring up. I mean, just like overnight. Oh well, here's an orchard that wasn't here yesterday.
Yeah.
There's been some grapes. I guess vineyards you'd call it. Kind of spring up. Fenced off areas are suddenly just covered. I mean, big, beautiful grapes.
Wrathful
Yeah.
grapes.
Grapes.
That's guy all right. I mean, kind of found some of that stuff over across the water.
Yes. I want to say Dixie was with you on one of those trips.
Yep.
Penelope nods. Yes, Dixie told us about running across one that
It was
she
only a
felt there was
matter-
something odd about it.
Mhm. It was only a matter of time till it started coming to the city.
But that was across the lake. Yeah.
Yeah, only a matter of time.
Wait, if there are sirens in the lake, but they've only been attacking the Olympus side. Othros
They're
has been
racist.
I may send some of the guard across the lake just to see if there's anybody missing over there. The news outlets on this side of the lake wouldn't necessarily pay much attention over there.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, she's like, well, if that's all, I guess, we can get on with the rest of our day. Thank you for coming by and having the meeting. We'll keep in contact with you.
You'll
I
see us on the
apologize
at
for
some
not letting
point.
you know as soon as the siren thing happened, but it seemed to be... at first, it was just a small something that might or might not have been supernatural. We hadn't actually seen any of the creatures until last night.
Maybe in the future, just don't call a coincidence a coincidence.
From now on, every small oddball little something.
I'm gonna hate it, but I'm used to getting spam. It's fine.
I suddenly get this
Well-
image of Penelope setting up the bands of Olympus Discord.
Discord. Yeah, I was gonna
Discord server.
I mean, it's a thing. We have the technology.
Hilarious could do it.
Yeah.
In that case, you'll go ahead and suggest that.
I got it.
How many memes are already in the channel?
There's so many memes already. I already have a
And
Discord
Hilarious hasn't
server
let anybody else
ready to
in
go.
yet. It's just them posting memes over and over again.
Yep.
Hillary's just warming the channels with memes.
Let's,
Here you go.
Penelope's like, let's try to keep it business oriented.
Yeah.
I mean,
Deleting most of them.
easier said than done with Chad, if Chad's allowed in, but
I'm gonna make a channel specifically for Chad
Chad's
that
Chad.
he can go in. Chad's chat, yeah, and everyone can go in and post memes and stuff there.
Everyone needs
Really,
a
it's
laugh
just
now and then.
it's the off-topic channel, but we just call it Chad's channel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So just ton of supernatural pet pictures.
Mm-mm.
So anyway, the meeting breaks up. Y'all are headed out. As you're leaving, on the television screen, you see a very somber newscaster talking, and up in the corner there is a picture of Violetta.
What? No. Did you kill our NPC?
Just one.
Staska!
When you step over to it, it's reports of her currently being in having been carted off to the emergency room. She was leaving her office to go to a meeting somewhere else in town. They don't specify where.
Mm.
And at a stoplight, another vehicle pulled up next to her and unloaded into the car.
Oh God.
She was still alive when the ambulances took her away from the scene. Her driver was dead, and the driver of the other car shot himself.
Well, ain't that convenient?
Does it say she's alive right now?
They're talking about her being rushed to the hospital.
Probably critical condition.
But as they're talking, they get an update that she has passed.
Mm.
And let's see.
We can still go.
You can tear that sheet in front of us, you bastard.
No, I was looking for somebody else's name, but the police wouldn't be releasing that quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the newscaster does say they have identified the shooter. Or the police say they have identified the shooter, but they have not released the name yet. And they proceed to talk about her accomplishments in town, this, that, and the other, and
Look at Sasha immediately, like, time to talk to ghosts?
Do you think they even like us enough to let us around right now?
You don't have to be seen.
Well, that will be questions to be answered next week.
Ugh.
It's after 9. It's time for us to wrap up. And this is a really good spot to wrap.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, as you can see right where their hearts break.
Yeah, no kidding.
So anyway, I hope y'all had fun. I enjoyed it. This was more of a plotting and planning session than, action oriented.
Yeah.
We'll probably make up for that next week.
Scions all up in their filios.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially if Connor gets a hold of whoever planned that.
Oh, you'll run into him eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not next week, though. Next week, you still got sirens to deal with on top of this.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you're not waiting for the next shoe to drop.
Yeah, the shoe
forcing
dropped.
You're forcing it down.
Oh, there you go. Well, you
You know,
already...
I'm sure there's plenty more shoes where that came from, though.
Oh, yeah.
Opens closet, shoes fall out.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, we'll be back next week. Decca, what else have we got this week?
You
Direbear.
have the channel.
Not in Streamlabs, I don't.
Tomorrow is Fall Scala Nights with JT. Thursday is a Night's Ransom with Maddie. Saturday is Stolen Cities with Alex. Sunday is Varenheim with Trail. And I believe this Monday is the return. Let me double check.
This coming Monday
yeah.
would be the 13th.
Yes, so that would be the beginning of the escorts. Not the
No.
escorts, the troubleshooters.
I
don't know why I keep doing that.
Because you want to hurt me.
Troubleshooter Season 3. And then we'll be back on Tuesday.
And
Same
we
bat
will...
time, same bat channel.
Yep, and we will see y'all then.
No one knows what bat channel is. It just makes me feel old.
Well, tonight it was
I know.
6:19. Hopefully next week it'll be closer to 6.
6:17.
Well, that would be closer at least.